what's going on. Make some colors.
Were you taught this, Mr. Wentz, or you just learned it?
I was a student of a more conceptual approach to painting, where it was more about your ideas than making it look real. And then in my senior year, I had a teacher come in who was a graduate from Rhode Island School of Design, and she was upset with me. She says, "You don't know how to paint." And I was getting ready to put my senior portfolio together, and I had all these great ideas. She said, "You're not going to do that. Here's a still life. You paint this with a freshman." And she made me do observational painting.
So you had to watch people paint?
No, I had to
Look
paint,
at stuff.
yeah, paint from vision, not paint from what I have ideas in my head. So actually look at where a shadow is and paint, exactly what I see. And it was the worst thing that I thought I could ever experience. First off, my favorite teacher left for another university, and she comes in and she says, "The way you've been doing it's all wrong." And I was trying to get into graduate school. I had applied to Yale, I had applied to Iowa, Cranbrook, all the big schools, and I wasn't allowed to do the kinds of paintings that I wanted to, that I thought would get me into these top level schools. So I found a closet in the sculpture studio, and it didn't have a lock on it. I had to use a popsicle stick to open it and close it, and I went in there and I created a second studio. So in there I went and I made all of my paintings that I wanted to. The closet was probably just about as big as 4 of these tables, and it had a single light bulb in it. And I used one of those light bulb converters so I could plug in my jam box, so I had music in there so I could
Ain't
listen.
nobody knew you was in there?
No, I didn't. Well, I told the sculpture professor, I said, keep it a secret, but I'm hiding in here. Yep. And so I was able to do it, but I was almost like doing double time, doing my class, then doing like another class for myself, all by myself. And, but the truth is, what she made me do, I would have never done on my own, and I never would have been as good of a teacher and as good of a painter as I am it's like one of those things where if you don't learn it, then you never learn it, and it's just like a big weakness, and but I really also believe in the conceptual, having an idea behind your painting. It's one thing just to paint something. It's like, oh, here's a sphere, here's a block. These things are mindless. But what they're going to teach you is what I knew I needed to learn was observational painting. Once you've got this skill, then you can paint anything you want, and you'll really be successful. Because there's a lot of people out there that take the easy road. They don't actually learn this, and there's a limit to how far they can go. So
what was your major?
A bachelor's of fine arts in painting and printmaking. Okay, so see this shadow here? Look up there for a second. You think it's that dark?
No.
Darker or lighter? A little bit lighter? Yeah. See, this is another one where we're not positive, so we're just going to have to try it and see. Put a little more red into it. And it's a tiny amount, it's like it's going to be really easy to go back in and fix this later if I'm wrong. But I'm going to go ahead. Okay, see, this is lighter.
It looks like it's about right to me. Or is it
I think it's darker.
Yeah, I think it's darker.
That shadow. I mean, I think this part is okay.
Yeah, it's the shadow we're working on right now. We're trying to get.
That shadow like it's more darker, closer to the wall.
Yeah, I think we're gonna.
Right there in the middle. I mean, like, right around this way.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the shadow be a little lighter.
we'll see. All right, so now we've got the red wall finished. What time we got? 41. So it's been about 12 minutes. So let's get that orange on the ground.
This is like an analogous painting.
This is analogous. Yeah, they're all side by side on the color. Analogous will be very harmonious. If you're ever trying to create a poster or a design for somebody, and it's all about, you know, peace and calm and that sort of thing. Like if you look at the medication ads, you know, all the ones that, you know, want you to chill out, they're all analogous colors. Sleepy, calm, your emotions are under control. But if you want to really like pop, you know, and try to get some real dynamic things going on, you'll use compliments. And you won't see me do the compliment one, that'll be in the video, that's next class. Frederick's going to stay and he's going to watch the second class too as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I was gonna get
All right.
get the extra credit.
So did your students do the ones up there on the wall, or you did that?
The faces on the wall, I did those, yeah. Yeah, those were my students at Mississippi State, and I did those as a demo for painting that we were doing there.
Are we gonna do them, or we
That's
just?
nice.
Yeah, you can do a self-portrait. We were planning to do a self-portrait at the second to last assignment in this class. So
Sounds like me.
no, don't be hard on yourself already. Just wait till you see how. I mean, this is like riding a bike in a sense. It's like, oh, bike is so hard until you learn, and then once you learn, it's like, this is easy.
But I look
No
at them,
hands, no hands.
I look at them paintings from those, like Michelangelo. I don't know how in the world they painted them people like that back in the day. People don't even paint like that no more.
Some people do. I have a friend in Brooklyn that paints very much in a Renaissance style.
Really? I don't see too
Well, at least you
many
get to
paintings
draw.
like that.
There's a lot of people that like that kind of stuff for their rich, fancy homes.
I would want to, I like abstract art. I don't know if I want to hang up. Now, if it's one of the real ones, of course, you
Yeah.
know, but.
Like, is it better to like? I see how you kind of like placing them on the page by color. Like, for instance, say if we painted the whole wall red and then you went back in and added a shadow. Is it better to do that or do it the way you're doing it now?
Well, think of it this way: for efficiency and saving your paint and being able to know what you're doing and controlling what you're doing when you're doing it. Think of it like a printer. Like a printer doesn't run through and say you've got, you know, all of your caps, all the capital letters. It prints all the capital letters and you send it back through and does all of your minuscules, you know. Or a photograph, you know, you send it to the printer and it prints the background, then it prints something over it. That would be wasting ink. So there's the wasting the paint part, but also since this paint is so translucent and you can see through it, if you put something down, you have to work so hard to paint over it. And so if I tried, like say if there's a blue dot here, and I painted all red, and then I tried to do blue over the top, it would look violet for a long time until I got it overcome. Now, there's some people that will paint a background, like a sky, and try to get that done. And then they come back and do like a winter tree over the top, and then, you know, they don't have to paint the blue in between. But even then, I would
You have to let it
paint.
dry though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I would paint, you know, what you see, when you see it, where you see it, and just do it once. And so now we got some more yellow added to this orange in here.